following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions.
So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Well, Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name, and they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
Hey there, Rough Rider fans. Welcome to the Pizzeria. It's time for the Coach Rick Meeks Show, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. What are we talking about today? Tell me about it. The last game of the season against Russ. And then we look at the bi-district round of the playoffs, brought to you by Campbell's Sporting Playoffs. Then we visit with TJ Bell, the quarterback, the maestro, and record-setting receiver, Timothy Johnson. Then we meet two seniors in the neutral zone, brought to you by Civil Motor Company. And then we consider something to smile about, brought to you by Wyndham Family Dental. Then we'll look around the county and the area and other playoff teams in and around playoff. It's all coming up from the Pizzeria. Hey y'all, the coach is in the house. This is a house. This is a house.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the Pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center. Sandy Cox is a good State Farm agent. Just ask Drake. He knows. State Farm agents in general are pretty cool, but Sandy Cox has the answers to your questions. Like, what's best for me, for my kids, for my business, for my farm? For all of us in Shelby County, those questions can be answered at Sandy Cox State Farm.
We'll find out here in a second.
Hit the top up there. There you go. Hang on a second now.
There we go. We're on. Everybody, welcome to the Rick Meeks Show, brought to you by Sabine State Bank, and we are live here from the Pizzeria. I want to apologize. Last week we did not have a show. Larry, come on, Ralph Pierce was under the weather. I was unavailable. That left Chris Watlington, and we were worried that if we had him try to set up the show, that he would somehow break the internet.
Right, and
so
that is quite possible.
Right. So all you folks out there thinking that we didn't want to come in after the setback from Athens, it's wrong. We've been happy. I had some tough questions to ask the coach, but we're now here on a more happy note. We'll talk about that, but we've got a lot of stuff this evening to talk about. We're going to talk about Rusk, a victory. We're going to kind of talk about the season in general and some other stuff, but we have a special guest here this evening. And I tell you what, I really like the way he is dressed. It shows that he is a very smart, high-class individual.
And you got the long one. Be careful with that cord, man.
That's right.
What are you doing?
Like I said, Chris Watlington might break the internet if he was in charge. So again, thank you to Steve Waters, who brings us this show every week, and of course our pizza of the night. We got a couple pizzas over there. Of course, we have the pepperoni, and I see something with some green on it.
I think that's the old Chris Watlington famous pizza right there. I had mine earlier. There you go. Good stuff.
All right. Like, bell peppers and sauce.
And he had a big old cookie before that, so he's good to go. So
I mean, you would have thought you could get great cookies at Pizzeria, but
they got good cheesecake too.
Yes. So that's our pizzas of the night. I'd like to thank the Forge. It's where Watlington goes to work out and where he has his sculpted Adonis type body. And we're going to take a break and hear from a couple of folks, and then we're going to kind of skip ahead on the program and go and get our guest in here this evening. So we'll be right back.
JBA Financial Services brings you Coach Talk, and there's a reason for that. John Black knows that when you're preparing for an important game, you need a plan. And they'd like to be a part of the details, the X's and O's of that plan. He's put together a good team, a coaching staff that would help you and your family get where they want to go. At JBA Financial Services, they're working to secure your family's future. So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Well, Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name. And they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
Everybody, welcome back. It's the Coach Rick Meeks Show live here from the pizzeria. And we have Chris Wallington here on the far left, and right in the middle we have number 10, Mr. Caleb Mosley. And I got this dang fly.
I know. As
still
soon as
here.
I hit the button, it hit me right in the eye. They're trained.
So Caleb, did you enjoy a piece of pizza before you came on? Here, let's get that.
Oh, yeah,
Move your thing closer in there. There you go. And turn him up. So, did you have a pizza? Oh, that's me. That's way loud. So, Caleb, do you have a piece of pizza or two?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty good.
All right, what kind did you have? You know, that's Coach's favorite. That's called the Coach Meeks pizza. It's a crispy pepperoni.
Crispy pepperoni.
So, you primarily play defense for the Rough Riders. We still don't hear him good, Chris.
Well, he's up all the way. I'm bringing him more. I got captain.
There we go. Okay. Oh,
There's the game. Okay.
there we go.
All right.
All right.
That's good.
So you primarily play defense for the Rough Riders.
Yes, sir.
And I remember it was kind of district last season. That's when we first started calling your name, it seems like. Did you find, did something start clicking last year?
Yeah, I did. About halfway through the season.
What changed? What started clicking for you?
I don't know. Just all the work preseason and during the first couple of weeks, it just started to add up. It's got a little easier.
Yeah. Were you seeing stuff better?
Yeah.
It seemed like your confidence really went up too.
Yes.
Well, I know your confidence was pretty good the other night on Russ, because I remember one time you put a guy down with authority. Do you remember that? You remember that play?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, tell us about that. What did they run, and what did you see?
They just ran counter back at me, and he just stepped right into me. So I went ahead and talked him.
Went ahead and did it.
He did it with. I mean, but you just didn't do it. You put him down. I mean, that was down kind of on the goal line. So what is your position called?
Outside linebacker.
So you're outside linebacker, and so do you rush the passer some? Or are you dropping in coverage, or is it a little of both?
Love both.
Give me an example. How do you know? Like on a play that it just when you break the huddle, you don't know if you're going to which one.
Usually they call from the sideline.
Okay.
So there's some plays that put me in coverage, and some plays that tell me to rush.
So you usually know before you are going to rush.
Yeah.
If you're going to rush or not.
Do.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you prefer to drop in coverage, or do you prefer to rush?
I like both. I like rushing, but I also like dropping in coverage because give me a chance to get a pick.
Right. I mean, how many have you had in your career? I know you've had a couple, right? I know at least one. I remember one for sure.
Yeah, I had 3. I had
Okay.
1 last year and 2 this year.
Right. Remember we had the one. Tell us about the 2 this year. I remember. I'm trying to go back to my memory bank and remember. Was it? It was,
I had 1 first week, Jacksonville.
right. But
Yeah.
that one was the other one that was a big one.
And
Where's your second interview or second interception? Was it? It was district, right? Was it?
I think it was Brownsboro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Brownsboro too. I mean, you remember that kind of disrupted the pass, and the ball kind of came out, and you just went and tracked it down and took it. Well, I thought you might go score.
Oh, you talking about Bullard last year?
Was it Bullard last
Yeah,
year?
that was last year, Bullard. Yeah, no, I didn't have enough.
Well, what I want to know is, I saw you in about 9 other, maybe more than 9, but 9 or 10 of you at the volleyball game, one of those first volleyball
Yeah.
games in the new place. It looked like y'all were having a really good time,
Yeah, we were.
just hanging.
Mm.
Does that happen a lot? I mean, this team looks like it really likes each other.
Yeah, I think we click a little, click pretty good.
Yeah, that's got to make a difference.
Yeah, it does. It helps us play together on the field a lot better. Just
Compare that camaraderie this year to last year.
it's just like being more here this year because you're older, you know more, you got more experience, so it's just easier to talk to everybody.
What's one thing on the field, be as specific as you can be, that you know this year absolutely got it down, that last year you might not have known?
That's a tough question.
That is tough. But I mean, you're standing at that linebacker spot and you are looking and you go, "Oh, I got this." Whereas like last year you may not have.
Probably on rushing. Probably, I think I got it down better this year. When to rush and how to rush, how to get to them.
How you do it?
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Outside
rush move?
linebacker, are you usually going outside?
Yeah, I
or do
gotta
you
go outside of either a tackle or like a tight end. Just hit them with like a swim move,
swim?
knock their arms down.
Okay.
Do you ever bull rush anybody?
Not much. No,
Not a whole lot of bull.
no, that's not my style.
Can we just get you up over there and you just arm swap Shires for us?
Sure.
Okay, I'm kidding. I mean, we'll do it in slow motion. That'd be good. Show us how it works. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey, we're fixing to have a play.
Right. We're gonna
Right
do
over
it.
there. Yeah. It's slow motion, so you don't have to actually do it. That would be painful. The floors are concrete.
Okay, so I'll be the.
So Shire says he's the what? Are you the tackle? All right, he's left tackle. Here comes the outside linebacker on the rush. The secret is bam right there under the arm. Bam. Okay. Just move the arm. Wow, I guess that would be effective.
Technique.
Hey, I'm gonna remember that when my children come home from college.
So it's not the traditional swim. It's
I'm gonna
SWAT.
get to the stove first.
Right.
Just
Right. It's not the traditional swim. It's the SWAT. It's the SWAT and swim.
the swan swim.
Yeah. So you swat the arm and then you go under.
There is not a show on YouTube right now that you could have learned this. This is only on the Rick Meeks show. So right before we let you go, you're wearing UT orange, but Gilmer also wears orange. I don't know if that was if you planned that or not.
Not at all.
What do you know about Gilmer? What do you remember about Gilmer from the last time we met him?
I just know like they like to play fast, get it down the middle of the field. Like to get it out to their receivers and try and get to the sideline.
Yeah. And so therefore, kind of what you're going to do to try and
Yes,
slow
sir.
that down.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Well, I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for being
Yes,
here. You
thank
got anything else for him? I mean, he's already sacked the quarterback twice.
Yeah, I know. No, he's one of my favorite this year.
Yeah.
We enjoy watching you play.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
we
Yes,
see you
sir.
and we know you play really hard.
Mm.
Thank you.
And then I've just really enjoyed it when you smacked that guy the other night.
Yes, sir.
The eagle.
And he's pretty good in fourth period English too.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
he's all around. All right, y'all. That's Caleb Mosley. He'll be on the field in in Tatum against Gilmer coming up soon. We'll come back. We'll look back at the Russ game here on the Rick Meeks Show, live from the pizzeria, brought to you by Sabine State Bank.
So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name. And they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank. Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters. So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
We're back here.
All right.
I was looking for my liner and I didn't see it, so I'm sorry. That was my fault. So
That's all right.
little delay there on the old Larry the Morning Guy.
That's all right.
There we go.
All right. So it's time to talk about Rusk. So we went into that game. It was Rusk had a lot to play for, right? That they still had an opportunity to get in,
Right.
and then we. What was it for us? Did we have? Was there any risk that we would be in the fourth spot or the?
If we'd have lost,
Yeah.
yeah, Russ
been a
wins,
mess,
they'd
right?
have been third, uh, and we would have dropped to fourth. We win, we're third, and then Bullard went fourth. So, um, yeah, it could have affected us.
Right. I don't know the game. I thought there were aspects of the game that were really, really good. I mean, but there were some. I don't know, Coach. It seemed like we had a little bit of a hangover
So the
from Athens.
turnovers weren't that good.
No. Unless you're the Detroit Lions,
So
you
like
normally lose.
the Lions and Texans game, yeah, about like that. Yeah, so yeah.
No, I thought we came out and played really well defensively.
Yes.
And honestly, from the start, we did some good things offensively. I mean, we scored pretty quick. Come back out next possession, we're moving the ball. We throw a screen pass, big gain, and as he's going down the corner, punches it out. Or it might have been the safety, but ball gets punched out. We had talked all week about making sure Easton got a possession, so that was kind of already planned. Didn't have anything to do with the possession before.
Right.
He comes out and really makes the correct read, just underthrows the receiver.
Yeah, he just didn't get enough air under it.
And part of that has to do with why we wanted to do that. Part of that has to do with he's taking 0 snaps. And we've got to have a plan in case something were to happen, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so anyway, that was just more of judgment on the throw. He made the correct read based off of what the defense gave us on the run pass.
Right.
He went where he was supposed to, so he just underthrew it. And then TJ was late on the choice route, which gave the outside backer time to jump underneath it, and then next thing you know, we've turned it over 3 times. And so, but all along, we played well defensively. Did some really good things. Gave up the explosive on the flea flicker. The scoop and score was not a fumble.
Yes.
But it is a fumble because they called it a fumble and they scored. So
is that a teaching moment to the guys?
Yeah, it is
so
because in
clearly
a situation like that, you still always go cover it up. Just go cover it up. Let the officials, then say it was incomplete or whatever the case may be, or maybe they leave the call the same, but then at least we're snapping it again offensively.
Right.
But yes, you don't leave it on the ground. You don't leave it up to the official. Go cover it up, hand the ball to the official, and then let's move on. So definitely a teaching moment.
Do the officials do they review that stuff at halftime and know when they air and they come see and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, coach"?
So I didn't realize. Okay, so video is new for us this year, and maybe it's different from crew to crew. But I mean, immediately, Coach Horton's in the box telling me that went forward, that went forward, that went forward, and I'm
and you're looking for your red flag to throw out.
I'm pleading my case on it. Hey, we just watched it, which
it was clearly. I mean, we could tell it was clearly a forward pass.
So anyway, when they came out after halftime, they said we watched a video. The ball went forward. We missed it. I said, that's fine.
Thanks.
Doesn't do anything good for you now, does it? No, does it?
As long as the score differential stays like it is right now, I'm okay with that. But I said, if they cut it and tie it, that explanation's not okay with me.
Right.
But anyway, so I guess they review things at halftime. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't now that we get to. I mean, I think it makes sense for them to look at how things have went through the game. I think it makes us all better, and so I hope they utilize that tool. I think it helps the officials. I think it's a really good tool.
Yeah. The problem is it bounced off our receiver's hands
and then went backwards
so far that it just right. I mean,
yes, sir.
But
so anyway, all that happening, I thought we regrouped well. And I know we've talked about this on the show before, but we're we really preached the middle quarter.
Yes.
And so with 6 minutes to go in the half, we score 14. We come out after halftime, score. So we're 21-0 in the middle quarter. And that's where the separation happened. So
Right.
very proud of our kids for responding with that to where we could create some separation and finish the game the way it needed to.
That's right. I mean, I just watching that Rusk team. I mean, I don't understand why the record's not better because they were. I thought they had a lot of things that they could do. You know, I guess they watched the Athens tape and ran because they ran several screen passes on us.
They did,
but
we defended them. Which I hope has helped us. Gilmer's going to do the same this week,
right?
So we've got to be ready for that. Russ kind of had some tendencies on when they run them. Gilmer does not. They will run them any down and distance, anywhere on the field. It doesn't matter. It's been a big part of their offense ever since Jeff Traylor started there in '99. Right. It's just been a big thing of what they've done, and it hasn't changed from Jeff to Matt, and then Matt now to the coaches that are there now with Coach Metzel. So, but we defended those better. So now we have a little more confidence.
Right.
Thought we did a good job with that. So that was really good.
We talked to Wolf. I mean, I know he had several times where he really did a good job of getting out there and getting, and covering that screen.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, if I could real quick, I didn't get to check to you, but, after the Athens game there and then coming in there, I mean, how were the guys, because you had such a uplifted going in there, and I know it was a tough loss there. You definitely don't want that, but I mean, kind of got the guys back, keep them grounded, refocus on everything, getting into Rusk and not letting it kind of, determine anything along the way, but that was a good game there. Kind of maybe got away from the Rough Riders just a little bit, but I mean, the guys, they came in good and they were ready to really bounce back, I think.
I thought so. And like I said, we started well, and we played well on defense all night. And so I don't think there was anything that carried over from Athens to Rusk. I think we made some self-inflicted mistakes, and those are things that can't happen. And but we still responded well. There was a time we could have responded negatively in the Rusk game early on, right? We could say, "Oh, here we go again. This is what happened last week, and we didn't overcome it and win, and now we're going to do it now." And they're up 14-7, or I mean, we could have sat there but we didn't. We just kept playing. It's a big part of our pillars, and I'm proud of our kids for responding that way. Because now it shows that they're trusting into that type of stuff, and they're just playing. So, we've talked to them from the get-go about what we were after. They still knew there's still a lot of things that we needed to do last week to accomplish goals that we had for the season. And so, Rush just happened to be the next opponent on the schedule, right. and we went and played the game. And so I'm very proud of our kids for that.
All right, we're good. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk about kind of the goals of the season and kind of what your thoughts are on how things have gone.
There we go.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative with the primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading deep East Texas care provider, recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family.
So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name, and they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
Welcome back here to the pizzeria. We'd love for you to join us. Come on any Monday night and have pizza and sit close, and you can ask questions too.
That's
We'd
right.
love to have you. Brought to you by Sabine State Bank. You just saw the ad from Steve Waters and his crew, and they're top notch. We also want to say thank you to JBI Insurance. Every single broadcast we do, we mention Joe Bill Matire and the good work that he does finding the normal insurance, car, home, but also the mobile home, the ATV, the boat, whatever it is. He's good at that stuff. The unusual stuff is where his specialty is. So give him a call at JBI. Okay, let's look ahead right quick and then look behind right quick. Um, we're playing Gilmer. We're the 3 seed versus the 2 seed. Let's look at the other 3 teams in our district. Carthage has
Spring Hill.
Spring Hill. We've seen Spring Hill,
Yes, sir.
and they're very similar, at least in results and even jersey color, to Bullard, which is our district facing their number 1. So I mean, Spring Hill, a chance in 90 degrees of maybe against Carthage.
Well, there's a chance because they're going to play the game.
Yeah.
I will say that, Coach Jocelyn, the things that he has been able to accomplish at Spring Hill has been really good. I mean, they've been competitive all year long. What they're doing offensively is very hard to stop. We're watching Spring Hill against Gilmer and in scout tape, and Spring Hill moves the ball on Gilmer. I mean, it's a very tough offense to defend. And so there's a chance because they're playing the game, but there's Carthage is going to be the better team.
Yeah.
Same with PG. But that's why we get to go play them, right? But I feel like both of those are probably going to win. And then I think you look at the other 2 matchups. I think all 4 of us are very evenly matched. Us and Gilmer, and then Van and Athens.
Van and Athens.
All
I mean, it's
good matchups.
The Athens this season was our Van last season. We just missed out on the number 2 seed through there. What do you think about Van Athens? Just right quick, does Athens have a shot at taking that from Van?
I think they're very evenly matched. I think Athens, or I think Van is going to be a little more experienced. Van is playing with more seniors than Athens was pretty young this year. They got a lot of their team back for next year. Van is senior heavy with Jackson Moffitt at quarterback. His twin brother at the running back, same at receiver. I mean, they've got a lot of guys playing right now that were big time players for them last year. So they're kind of experienced, and they played into the second round. And so anyway, I feel like Van is going to be a little more ready for the occasion. I think Athens presents some problems at receiver. I think they're very physical defensively with 11 and 15 at the outside backer. So they're going to be able to kind of withstand the run game of Van. So, I could see that one going either way.
Okay.
I think they're very evenly matched.
Good deal. Well, that's the playoff look next week. Now, Shires, you wanted to take a second, and I'm glad that you wanted to do this. An 8-2 season. I mean, you go back and look. When was the last time we were 8-2?
2015.
9 seasons ago.
Right.
And 2015 was that magic season, was it not? Wasn't that the one when you had the wrecking ball and everybody
that year we ended up 10-3.
You were here, right?
I was. Yes, sir. Ended up 10-3. We lost in the 3rd round. But we told the guys at the start of the year. We were 8 wins in 22. We were 7 wins last year. So the last time that there were 3 consecutive seasons of 7+ wins or more was 94, 95, 96. So you're talking, 28 years ago?
When Easton's dad was playing.
Yeah, we're not talking about Ben a whole lot. I'm still mad. We're advertising as new fans, and we're not even getting those.
Getting any.
We're not getting those on the sideline yet. Well, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk to old Benjamin about that. But yes, Ben was playing at that time. But I mean, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity to establish, like we keep talking about, establish the groundwork and the foundation, and bring pride back into the athletic department and take take pride in the things that we accomplish. Like it's a big
Mm-hmm.
deal for us that we did what we were able to do. Hadn't happened in 28 years, and so um, we get, sometimes, and me included, we get so hung up on like this week, like it's we got to go win the game, and we do. But our kids have really bought into our program and establishing what we're after, and we should celebrate that.
Absolutely.
It's taken a lot of hard work all the way back to last January, and the games, the 8 games we won right now happened in January, February, March last year. They
Sure.
didn't happen last week.
Right.
It's time, and we ask a lot of our kids. We ask them to be in a lot of places and do a lot of things, and they sacrifice a lot of things with their friends
Mm-hmm.
to be involved in something bigger than themselves. And very excited that they have done that, and I'm very proud of them for understanding what hard work will do for you.
What's one of those things this season that you will look back on and you will be most proud of?
I think the resilience from when we have had failure. I think last week is a prime example against Athens. I think the easiest thing to do there was we had failure, and we could just go through the motions now. And we didn't do that. We still attacked the weak last week. We did the same after the Carthage game. We approached North Dakota in a different mindset this year than we have the last 2 years. So these are guys that our seniors, they were 1-9 as freshmen on the freshman team,
Hmm.
and now they're going to leave here um, having really established the roots of the program because they completely bought into what it takes to truly win.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean they're a perfect example of that. And so I mean you can't you can't get much better than that. They're able to leave here telling the guys behind them that are coming up as juniors and junior high, the hard work will pay off.
Right.
We're the prime example.
We know from
That's
firsthand.
right.
And then finally, back on that other thing, what do you think the odds are that the state champion comes from one of the games that our district's going to play that will be one of our district teams or one of district, was it seven's team or district nine? I
Seven.
forget, seven.
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds that the state champion is going to be from one of these by district games?
100%.
Really?
Yeah. The state champion will come out of District 7 or District 8.
Yeah. Period.
Period.
Brock in West Texas.
Yeah, it's not the same. I'm telling you, it's not the same. It'll be District 7, District 8, hands down. Brock might win Region 1. They'll lose in the semifinals to the team out of our region. I mean, down south, you have a couple teams that can potentially get there. Hampshire Finette, Belleville's is good again this year. Hadn't really been anybody out of Region 4 that has stood out up to this point. So you're looking at probably Hampshire Finette, Belleville making it to the finals. But the state champion will come out of District 7 or District 8.
And Rough Rider fans understand what that means. That's when we started spring
Really, it
training.
means that we're going to win state.
There you go.
It's you're seeing high quality stuff from the get go.
Right.
That a lot of teams don't see until late in the playoffs. So
Right.
that's
Let's circle back because Washington, you hogged all the.
Yeah, I did. I had some questions. I had some things on my mind.
So we talked about the kind of the way we looked at it was like building a house, and so we got the foundation built, and now we've got are the walls up.
That's right. Walls are going up.
What? And I was interested to see how we did this year because obviously Tim is a special athlete.
Spark plug.
But I still feel like when the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, that's when you got that's when the program is doing what it's supposed to do. Are you
Right.
we starting to see that?
Yes. Yes. Because I mean, we graduated last year. You graduate Cash and Caden and Lance and
Mhm.
different guys that were that did. I mean, you look at Cash, Caden, and Lance. They were 98% of the offense
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
The other 2% was TJ at receiver.
Right.
Like, I mean, that was it. And so you graduate all that. And when when your program is centered around athletes, then you worry about that because you have an athlete just trying to replace an athlete. You don't have that team aspect of it. And this year, that's where it's at, and it's allowed others to step up and flourish, like Tim, because he is such a gifted player, and other people. I mean, we've got a lot of kids that have stepped up and played, but it's because they've bought into the program and not necessarily us putting standalone people
Right.
out there, And so, there's plenty of people that didn't think we would respond the way we did this year. People thinking we were only going to win one game. But that wasn't the case, and the kids believed. And at the end of the day, it's like we tell the guys when we meet and we're in that team meeting room, opinions outside of these four walls really don't
Yeah.
matter. Let them be. All
Yeah.
that matters is what's inside of here and what we believe and what we go do. And so we've done a really good job of that this year, and I'm proud of our guys for that.
Absolutely. And then I'm just on a side note, I'm really looking for the next 3 years at number 58. I think number 58 is going to.
He's got a chance to be very special.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
He already looks it.
He might
already
open some holes.
looks
Right.
it. I mean, and he's just. I mean, you're going to put some weight on him over and
Absolutely.
then oh my God, he's going to be
Absolutely.
eating pancakes every Saturday, baby.
One day,
Every Saturday.
one day he's going to shave.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That's the thing. He's still not shaving. He's going to keep growing.
That's right.
So
That's right. He's got a refined taste.
right, he showed up and got an omelet. That's neat. When we do the Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep pregame show and we do our area roundup where we kind of learn what's going on in the other games, that's Campbell's Portable Buildings that brings you that. They do the same thing here as we look at the playoff picture. Thank you very much to John Jenkins and the staff. Portable Buildings, wherever you need them for storage or extra living space, they're just right over there. Tell them James sent you. Also wanted to say thanks to Mooney's Emporium. It's not long. Christmas shopping is either around the corner or it's already gotten here. Go right now, next day to the square and see what Michelle's got for you at Mooney's.
We have to see if Coach Harrison went back and got anything else. He finally went and got Retina a Consuela purse. I mean, we were on him for it took several months to make that happen. I can't wait when we get Hiram back here to figure out if he's going back for another present for Richard.
And Hiram, he's coming relatively soon.
Yeah.
It's not long before he'll be here every night.
Right.
So we'll hear from some more sponsors, and we'll come back to look at Gilmer particularly as we get ready for round one here at the Rick Meeks Show, brought to you by Shelby Savings Bank. We're here at Pizzeria. We'll be right back.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
Joaquin Tire in Joaquin, Texas. Family owned and operated with new.
At Watson & Sons, their family serves your family. It begins with their facilities, their inviting and warm chapel, and their elegant lobby, and their unique product room where you can shop for the choices your tribute requires. They've been serving your family at Watson & Sons since Scott built it in 1998, but their family has been serving you for over a century.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative with the primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading deep East Texas care provider, recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family.
So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Well, Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name, and they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
Or nobody? Oh, you got. Oh, welcome back, everybody. It's the Rick Meeks Show live here from the pizzeria, brought to you by Steve Waters and Sabine State Bank. Now it's time to make a focus in on the Gilmer Buckeyes for a rematch of last year's by-district matchup. And we were talking off the air. I mean, Gilmer. You talked about it before. I mean, Gilmer. No matter who the coach is or what year it is or who they got playing back there, they do. They're athletic, and they really, it seems like they use the whole field. I mean,
Right.
all the way from sideline to sideline.
They do, and they've done a good job of staying consistent over the years. I mean, Jeff started there in '99. There's coaches on staff that were there from when he took over in '99. Um, but but the majority of the guys from especially Coach Metzel now. Coach Metzel was his offensive coordinator for a long time. So you got to think they got a 25-year program
Right.
in place, and they've been very consistent and they had success. I mean, success,
Mm-hmm.
breeds participation.
Right.
And they have the same problem Gilmer has sometimes. People just show up to play. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Carthage, people just show up to play. Um, and so they've done a good job with that. So, you know, um, at the end of the day, though, you still got to coach them, and you still got to make sure you continue the success, and they've done a good job with that. Coach Metzel is very detail oriented. There's not a phase of the game that he overlooks, and they're going to be prepared every way possible that they can
Mm-hmm.
be.
Now I will say this: when we were at the pancake breakfast on Saturday, the guys were really looking forward to this rematch.
Hmm.
Really looking forward to it. Now I feel like we are we are ready to go.
We had a really good day today. The thing we have to be careful of, and I want them to be as excited as they can be. For one, we're still playing. There's a lot of
Right.
people that aren't playing.
Right.
We've accomplished a lot. They need to be very excited about what they've already accomplished. We don't have anything to lose this week. Everybody is going to be, saying Gilmer should win this and that. They have all the pressure on them, not
Right.
us. So
Right.
we
Yeah.
we should we should be loose and going and playing. But at the end of the day, we play the guy across from us. We're not playing a name on a jersey, and so we can't make the moment bigger than what it is. We're going to
Right.
play a football game on a field that's the same size as ours that we practice on every single day. Um, against a good team. But I got to play the guy in front of me and trust the guy beside me to do the same, and we just go play the
Mm-hmm.
game. Um, both of us are two totally different teams as last year. So, there's, outside of maybe what our philosophies are, there's not a lot that's the same.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a different guy at quarterback, different guy at running back. They got different set of receivers. Same for us. So, we need to continue to have the energy we had today, stack days on each other this week, and just get ready to go play the game.
Good.
Yep.
So offensively, just to remind everybody, what do they do? I mean, even though it may be hard to predict, but what do they do?
So they're gun, they're 20 personnel, which means they're going to play with a sniffer and a tailback, the guy behind the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do those things. They're going to run inside zone and counter. They throw a lot of screens, and then their passing game down the field is play action. But they want to run the football. They want to run zone. They want to run counter. They're going to bring the receivers in motion and run what we refer to as cheat, but it's a jet sweep,
Mm-hmm.
and do those things to set up the screens, whether it is running back screen, receiver screen, or to set up the play action pass down the field. So, playing with a different quarterback this year, they have Brady McCown that moved in from
Right.
Jacksonville. The Tennyson kid that played quarterback
Mm-hmm.
last year is playing some receiver and playing some secondary. So they've got some new faces
Yeah.
offensively.
The Jacksonville people are kind of sour on that move. I go to I go to Cherokee County, and often I had more than one person tell me that they didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't think that's went over too well.
Yeah.
All right, what about defensively? What are they going to do?
I really think defensively we're going to get a lot of man on the back end. I think they're going to take kind of some of the stuff Athens did to us. They're going to and see that there's some success to that. And
Mm-hmm.
Athens played us in a lot of man. So I really think like that's what we're going to get. They're going to man us up. They're going to put the other 7 in the box, and say try to run it on this or try to get the pass off and get it down the field. So they haven't shown to do that all year long. They have done it a couple of games this year, but I think kind of with the way a few things went for us versus Athens this year, that's what they're going to do.
Right.
I think they're going to take their best player defensively, number 7, and man him up on Tim. They're going to take 1 and 3, which are 2 good receivers for them, and put them on, one of them on JoJo and one of them on JK, and they're going to put the other 7 in the box and say, we dare you to still try to throw it.
Okay.
And if you're able to move it and score it, then at the end of the night, we're going to tell you good job. So we got to be ready for that. We've got to be ready to move the pocket a little bit, motion around, move some people around, and some things like that. So, I just, that's kind of what we're preparing for and what we feel like we're going to get.
Well, I know, like I said, too, talking to the guys on Saturday, and Shire brought up, how pumped up the big guys are up front up there, too. So how do you get to some of those things that those guys, they're so highly motivated with, how do you get them to really put a lot of that into the emotion of the game to get them really pumped up and get it started?
Well, I think, and it's kind of one thing we've already talked to him about today. I mean, the line of scrimmage is going to be huge for us Friday. If they were to play us that way, I mean, now you got to think if we crease the line of scrimmage, they have nobody left, and so that falls on us up front. Be ready to play up front and be ready to execute our schemes. And if we can get the creases like we want, especially if a lot of the pressure is coming from the outside, they have nobody left. They have nobody left. So, I mean, what more could you ask for, knowing that falls on you? And our guys have done a good job as the years went on, as the season has went on. They are gaining a lot of confidence in what it means to play that position. Early on we were kind of new, we struggled a little bit. But we have developed a lot of confidence up there, and so now they're taking pride in playing that position, and that's what it takes, because that's obviously what we've been able to do the last few weeks on Saturdays is awesome, because our offensive line, those are guys that go unrecognized a lot of times in a lot of teams, with the success that happens. Success happens from those 5. Because if you're not blocking anybody, you're not getting passes off. You're not able to hand. You're not doing anything.
Right.
So it's the same with Tim, and he would tell you the same thing. Like I'm able to do the things I'm able to do at receiver this year because of those guys.
Right.
If it wasn't for them, I'm not catching anything. I'm not scoring touchdowns. I'm not. So that's been good to see, and our kids responding in the right way of pumping them up, which is really just boosting their confidence as well.
Yeah, that's what I love to see. They're just hanging out with those guys. Like I said, I know I said it a couple times here, but I mean, sitting there talking to those guys and just laughing and having a good time, just talking just general stuff, not so much football in there too, but just hey, what you guys doing throughout the day, and hanging out, just need to learn a little bit about those guys away from the field, and it's just a great time to enjoy just being down there with them.
Special person to play that position.
Yeah, it is true.
Well, all right.
Do we had our neutral position here? Is that where I need to go? The neutral zone thing here?
The neutral zone.
Okay.
Sure. So Center Motor Company brings us every week during the pregame show the neutral zone, where we meet a center rough rider. So it's a lot of the seniors and some of the other contributors, and I think we got most of them through. We may have, we're short one, so we're going to get to see him tonight. Who is it, Chris Wallington? Is it number 54? Is it Radney? All right.
How about we play it?
We'll play it. We'll find out.
Yeah,
How about that?
The guys that put this together don't know who it is.
Hey, number 25, what's your name?
My name is Bryce Lee.
Bryce Lee. What do you play?
I play D-line.
What position?
I play nose guard. I'm learning a little bit of tackle too.
Okay, so you're going to be one of those guys that come in as the situation dictates.
Yes, sir.
Have you always played defensive line?
I played linebacker my freshman year and my sophomore year, and I got switched my junior year. And I had to learn it, but I got it all down now.
Okay. So what do you think? You think back to your linebacker days. Is this defensive line stuff all right?
Yeah, like I remember my linebacker plays, and I learned all my D-line plays.
Okay.
I like both of them.
So now you really could play about 6 different positions now, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, good luck out there, and I hope the Rough Riders do good this year.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We will.
All right, everybody, that was our Neutral Zone brought to you by Center Motor Company. They're on Hurst Street, our own Motor Mile. You go down through there, go see Kevin Jones and the guys for your new or used, Ford trucks, Ford tough trucks. Tell you what, if they don't have it on the lot, you go tell Kevin what you want, and shortly thereafter, it will magically appear. I've known Kevin Jones a long time, and he is good at finding the car you want. I bought a Lincoln from them. Gosh, 15 years ago, and I'm still driving it.
Right. There you go. So where we?
Oh, something to smile about.
Okay, what you starting down there, and then you want me to start?
You go ahead and start,
All
Larry.
right, well, something to smile about for me is it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yes,
It's not
absolutely.
Christmas; it's football playoffs.
That's right.
That's what time it is, and that's what's making me smile right now. Is just the weather's changing. You can feel it, and it's football playoff time in Texas. And other than opening Christmas presents on Christmas morning, there ain't no better time of the year for me. That makes me smile, man.
Well, I don't know how you can top that. I'm happy because yes, just that. This is my favorite time of the year. Got Thanksgiving coming up. My favorite thing to smile about is when I go to Walmart on the weekend of Thanksgiving and people look at me and go, "Why are you still here? Aren't you supposed to be in, wherever we're playing?"
Right.
And I said, "No, I'm about to head that way. The game's not for 9 more hours. Well, I can make it down there."
Right.
But I would just say the something to smile about is that all the fans, all the folks that are following, we have great attendance at the football games, and we have great viewership, and we have lots of feedback from people that really enjoy and try to.
Yeah, and
they're
y'all really
really
need to get your
passionate.
sideline thing going on over there. And, Sproul's letting you know that you guys need to
Yeah.
make sure your camera's right down on the
My
sideline.
friend Chris Spruill, yes.
Had all of us scrambling around going, "What's he talking about?" And then we found out who it is. So there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. I've got a buddy named Spruill. He religiously watches and a huge fan. He's a former Rough Rider too, and he talks about all this stuff. But he gets on the message board, and he trolls people and just calls it grief. But he watches every week. He watches everything we do, and he may come. Spruill may actually come to Tatum on Friday. We're gonna have him in there. I also had my buddy Roman, who's our soccer expert.
Right, there you go.
Right, he played tight end. He was 2-time All-State at center and played offensive line at LSU.
Yeah.
But he comes in and gives us expert commentary on soccer.
Okay. That's awesome.
Back to wrap.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We'll be right back.
Are we wrapping it up? Okay, here we go.
Hey, y'all got a dirty truck.
Well, then take it to Joe's Car Spa for a spa day.
At Joe's, they make 'em shine.
And they're standing by to work with the community.
They was elected best of Shelby County this year, and it's called Joe's, but it probably ought to be called Reed since Reed Grant owns it.
So, Billy Don, when it's time for your car or truck to have a spa day, where do you take it?
I don't know where.
At Watson & Sons, their family serves your family. It begins with their facilities, their inviting and warm chapel, and their elegant lobby, and their unique product room where you can shop for the choices your tribute requires. They've been serving your family at Watson & Sons since Scott built it in 1998, but their family has been serving you for over a century.
Here we go.
Welcome back, everybody. This is our closing segment because we are busy this week because, well, the whole state of football is busy this week. Larry, where will you be? You have at least 2 games.
Thursday will be in Nacogdoches for Shelbyville and Leon Jewett. And then I will be in Palestine on Friday for Timpson and Hearn.
Hearn.
Yeah.
Okay, Timpson and Hearn.
Eagles. Yeah.
That's 2 good ones.
Yeah, really good.
But Shires, we're going to be Friday in Tatum, but where else?
Well, on Thursday we're making the trek all the way to Timpson, Texas,
right,
where we will witness the gargantuan battle between the West Sabine. What are they?
West Sabine Tigers.
The Tigers, right? We saw them
couple times.
play. Well, we were there. I saw them play Tennehaw.
Yep.
But the West Sabine Tigers are going to play the Grapeland Sandies.
The Grapeland Sandies.
And the Grapeland, I tell you, they were in the same district as Shelbyville and St. Augustine the last couple of years, and they've had a really good season.
Right.
So that's going to be a good game between those two teams.
So we're going to do that Thursday night at 7 p.m. Looking forward to that. Joaquin will also be covered on Net SN as our buddies from up north, Brett Swinney, and those guys are going to get the Joaquin game, which is in ARP versus Centerville, another Tigers, Centerville Tigers.
So all the Pawnee teams that we cover throughout the year are going to be covered on the NFHS that have made it through by local guys.
Should be a big
good stuff.
And we're waiting to see. We're still in negotiations with the UIL about whether or not we're going to be on NFHS or whether we're going to broadcast it ourselves. But we're in top level negotiations, and large amounts of money are going back and forth.
It's interesting that you'd say that. These games we just talked about are all on the NFHS, National Federation of High School.
Yeah.
You have to have a subscription to watch. That subscription does not go to us, of course, but that's just the UIO's partner for all playoff sports.
Right.
That's where that will be. So have a heads up there. Hopefully the center game will stay on NetSN. May or may not. We'll let you know.
Right.
Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the Rick Meeks Show live from the pizzeria. There's the gang right there, still making pizzas for the county.
Yeah, working hard.
It's brought to you by Sabine State Bank. We want to thank Caleb Mosley for joining us tonight.
Yes.
But he's a good interview. And a big thank you, of course, to Steve Waters and the gang for bringing the show to you. This week on NetSN, we have 5 playoff games. Help me again. Shelbyville versus
Leon Jewett.
Leon Jewett. Larry will have that on NFHS. Then Larry will have Timpson versus Hearn on Friday. Shires now will be in Timpson Thursday for the West Sabine Tigers and the Grapeland Sandies. And then on Friday, hopefully right here at NetSN, that guy right there was going to be coaching in round 1 against the Gilmer Buckeyes. We'll start the Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep pregame show at 7 p.m. sharp in the Center Motor Neutral Zone.
6:30 p.m.
Oh, that's right. It starts at 7.
Yeah.
It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Boy, that's big. So we're starting the pregame at 7:30. We'll have the entire offensive line on our neutral zone, and sideline reporter Holly Hernan will chat with the senior cheerleaders in the Gaddy's Cheerleader Spotlight. At halftime, we talk with the Chaparral officers and Borders Poultry Supply up close and personal. So until next week, for Larry, come on, Ref Pierce, Rick the AD Meeks, and Counselor Stephen Shires, I'm Chris Wallington saying the coach is leaving the house.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the pizzeria just off the square in Center. So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name. And they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
The proceeding was a presentation of Watlington, Shires, and Pierce Productions. We hope you have an awesome and blessed night. God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless each and every one of you.